I want to give the rest of my time to this mother here because what she was going to talk about is quite serious.
Thank you. Hi, I'm back. My name is Rochelle Campbell, and I am from Lee Hill Elementary. You did it for other people, and I'm telling you, I'm going to speak.
Sorry.
You did it just now.
It's my time, and I'm giving it to her.
Madam Chair, it's point
It's
of order.
important.
I think
You may not
under the
want to hear it, but her
circumstances, you
voice
should
Please,
honor
we
this.
are not, this is not an arguing matter.
This is an arguing matter. My daughter
No,
almost
ma'am.
killed herself
Ma'am.
because you don't listen.
Ma'am.
Because you
Ma'am.
don't listen.
We would
Because
love-
it was
we
okay to
want
use
to,
words
ma'am.
like white privilege,
Officer.
faggot, whore,
Officer.
rape. I'm going to murder you.
Officer.
That was what was said.
Assistance, please.
That was what was said.
Ma'am.
About my daughter, and that's
Ma'am,
okay?
I know it's not, I'm not
Ma'am.
saying
But
it
you
is
are saying it's okay by
Order.
ignoring me now.
Ma'am, there is
She's
a way
sharing
of
her
getting-
time with me.
There is a way of getting time.
But you let other
Madam
people do
Chair,
it, so why
point of
won't you
order.
hear me?
You just did it for your award ceremony.
Madam Chair, point of order, this lady should be heard.
Ma'am. This, excuse me, I'm the chairman. Excuse me. We can have order in the audience. Ma'am, there is a time for signing up.
And
Wait,
ma'am,
I'm-
I gave all my
wait,
time to you when I tried
please,
to reach your administrators
please
when my daughter
stop.
actually needed your
Ma'am,
help. I
I'm going
tried.
to allow your time,
Okay, she's going to allow it. Go ahead.
Thank
but
you.
I need the other people to stop yelling, and I need order from the other people in the crowd.
Yes, ma'am. Thank you.
You're very welcome. I need order, and that is the reason for this.
I
Please
understand.
state your name.
My name is
and your
Rochelle
voting
Campbell,
district.
and I'm from Lee Hill Elementary School, or Lee Hill District. My daughter went to Thornburg Middle School. The reason I had a friend put in to speak for me tonight was because all of my free time away from work was taken trying to reach the administration of my middle school, trying to reach a guidance counselor to talk to about my daughter, asking my daughter had she reached out to those counselors. Guess what? Nobody ever got back to her. Thank you, Dr. Baker. Thank you, Dr. Hodges, and thank you, Mr. Wolf, because guess what? That's the first time anybody listened to me or my child. My daughter was told on a daily basis that she was not worth the very air she breathes, in front of other students and in a classroom. So loud that nobody could hear the conversation. All the teacher could say is, y'all need to be quiet, but couldn't hear the other students saying the things they said. They told her to die. They told her they were gonna rape her straight, and guess what? They don't even know her sexuality. She was told she was going to be gagged to death on penises. She was told she was a white privileged princess and she didn't deserve to be in the earth that they are on. Just so you know, I come from a mixed family and we don't talk like that. Just so you know, it's not okay in my house, and I have stepsons, to talk about hurting young women that way. My daughter had never been exposed to that kind of hate and violence until she went to one of your schools. And at that point in time, nobody listened to her, just like tonight, nobody wanted to listen to me. But I'm here to tell you, in Spotsylvania County, you have a problem. 2018, 65% of your 10 to 17-year-old children killed themselves or tried because of bullying. Now you are in 2021, going into 2022. Do you know that you have 85% right now? That makes you one of the highest in the state. You should be ashamed. You're talking about books and cats and this and that, but you're not talking about how that money should go to those kids and what those kids need, how you have a maxed out school, overworked teachers, and counselors that cannot get to children like my daughter. I stand before you today and tell you you should definitely be ashamed of that. I have a little girl that made honor roll. She's straight A's. She played for your soccer team. She volunteers at local community centers for animals, for the homeless, and she volunteers as an assistant coach for a soccer team. I myself have lived here since I was 7 years old. For the first time ever, I can say I'm ashamed to be from Spotsylvania County, because I have to tuck my daughter in at night, give her medication because she breaks out in hives, and listen to her night terrors because she's scared to death that she's not going to be able to have a voice. I had to be her voice, because when she tried to use her voice, nobody in the school that she went to listened. She got hit in the head with water bottles. She got called slurs. And none of those are okay. I don't care if you're gay, if you're straight, if you're black, if you're white, to any parent that's in this community. I don't care what your religion is. Nobody should treat your child this way. No parent should ever have to feel the way I feel right now, which is desperate and sad that I have to stand before you and ask you to understand. Did you know the suicide rate was this high in your county for kids? And if you didn't, you should be ashamed. You owe them an apology. I am lucky that I stand before you right now as a parent who bought Christmas presents instead of a casket because my daughter finally felt it was time to come to me and say, Mom, it's way worse than I ever let you know. But what 11-year-old girl should ever have to come to her mother and say, they're threatening to rape me. They're talking about putting their penises in different orifices of my body. My daughter's never even kissed a boy. Do you know how embarrassing that is to be an 11-year-old girl and talk to your mother about sex and you've never even kissed a boy? If you've ever been an 11-year-old girl, yeah, you know. Because you probably still don't want to talk to your mother about your sex life. My daughter's 11, and she's been exposed to this kind of hate, this kind of intolerance, this kind of lack of caring. And I'm sorry if I was disruptive, and I'm sorry if I was loud, but you know what? I'm her mother, and that's my job. And I will stand for her, and I will stand for any child I hear, that whether it's one of the kids I've coached on my soccer team, if it's one of the kids at my church, whether it's your kid. If I hear another child talk to a child that way, or an adult for that matter, it is not okay. And I need you as a board to stand up and say that too. Because that, guess what? Those kids, those same kids I just told you about, did you know they still get to go to school? I had to pull my kid from school. They get on a bus every day and get to go free. My daughter's waiting, and it's only thanks to Dr. Baker and Mr. Forrest and Dr. Hodges that I got a transfer to get her to another school so where she had a fresh start. But how sad is that I had to do that? And yes, ma'am, you're right. I should have put myself in on the email form, but I apologize. I missed so much work calling and emailing and calling and emailing and calling and emailing unanswered that I had to ask a girlfriend to come on tonight and sign up for me because I couldn't miss any more work. I work to feed my family, and I have more than one child. But I also volunteer my time. But I needed to be here, and you needed to hear this. My daughter could have been one of your statistics because of how sad this system is and how badly you're failing these kids. You need more staff, you need more counseling, and you need to understand and listen when these kids speak, because if they don't have a voice, not everybody's got a parent like me that can take the time to stand up and will fight for them.